in from Kerala. He's saying that he's bought both Birlasoft as well as Lakshmi Organic, and he feels that they are languishing, they're not doing too well. Which is the better buy for the long term, though? That's the question, Ashish.
In my view, first of all, both investment you can continue to remain hold. Only thing is, we have seen a very big rally in both these stocks and before the prices came down. But in my view, both the stocks are having merit, and as we are seeing again some amount of pull up again in Lakshmi Organic stocks also from their lows, along with Birlasoft as IT mid caps also started performing. So my suggestion is to remain invested in both.
Kunal, before I dive into queries directly, I have Amy asking a very interesting question and wants to know whether if Nifty can go back to 15,500 odd levels because she wants to deploy some more money now.
Well, I think this is the FOMO effect actually playing out. You know that when the markets are actually at those breakout levels, we don't tend to buy, and then when there's a confirmation, but then you have to pay a premium when the markets rise. And that's the time people generally assume that it would have been a good time to try and invest or buy the stocks at much lower levels. But then I think what the market is trying to also indicate that the new sectors which are opening up. So it's absolutely fine that you don't wait for that 15,900 mark and you start investing at current levels. I think because there are a lot of sectors and stocks which are opening up quite well. IT stocks have done remarkably well in the last 1 week. We have the metal stocks also getting to a recovery phase. Autos have done very well. Banking stocks, both the private sector and the PSU names are looking quite strong. So rather than focusing on buying on dips, very important to look out for nibbling stocks at current levels as well.
Okay, that's also called the wisdom of retrospect is flawless, because you look back and you say, that was a perfect level to get in.
Is always right.
Yes, there are several that are trademarked, I would think. Cheryl just came out with a statement of her own, which I'm asking her to trademark. We'll tell you once she has, so that no one can steal it. Mastech is the name of the next counter. We've got a question coming in from Vivek, and this one's for you, Kunal. He's saying that he's losing ground on this particular counter, but he's looking to hold for at least 2 to 3 years. He's asking whether he should add or should he reduce at this juncture.
So I'm not sure what the buy price is.
I think 22% decline is what he's seeing in his holding.
I think then it's a good time to where you should look to buy or average further. Mastech has done remarkably well in the last 2.5 years. So this IT wave which had happened for even Mastech as well, the stock had rallied from sub 500 levels to at one point being at 3,500 levels. That's a stellar return for a stock like Mastech, and now the stock from 3,500 is back towards that 2,000 mark. You can't expect the stock to get into a further correction, from here on, at least from a longer term basis. Some point of time, you have to try and take that plunge. I think current levels could be a good level where you can look to start averaging and bring your cost price lower.
Okay, this one is coming from Nafaz, and he's holding over 1,000 shares of GTPL Hathway at an average price of 180 rupees per share. He's saying, Ashish, that he can hold on to this counter for the longer term, but he wants to know, does it make sense or should he switch to better quality counters?
In my view, you can exit from the counter. We have seen a big sell-off from 300 odd levels to current price, because the kind of competition they are facing from other larger players, it will be difficult to maintain, any bigger growth for them. So instead of this, I'll suggest a similar price stock in housing finance sector, which is Star Housing Finance Limited. This is a company where very robust quarterly numbers we have seen, where net profit went up by almost 474%. And this is a company trying to fill vacuum created by DHFL absence, because they give loans up to 25 lakhs. And they are also infusing around 100 crore new capital in the company. So in next 8 quarters, I am expecting their AUM will be 500 crores. So Star Housing Finance Limited at 150 rupees, you can take a buy.
Okay. Mahindra & Mahindra, we've spoken about in the recent past, but this is a short-term query and it's coming in from Arpan. He's writing in from Kolkata. Can it be bought, Kunal, at the current price for the next 3 to 6 months, and what levels would you look at?
So 3 to 6 months, as I said, may not be the best time frame for Mahindra & Mahindra. my sense, so I was discussing this stock yesterday as well, that after 4 straight months of strong price uptrend, historical charts suggest that the stock would get into more sideways price action. So this 1150-60 mark could act as a pivot point for Mahindra & Mahindra, and the stock may try and fluctuate maybe 10% plus or minus this range for at least the next 2 to 3 months. So if you're looking out for immediate gains, then I don't see a major upside more than 10%, at least over the next 3 months for Mahindra & Mahindra. If you have an extension in terms of time horizon, then I think it makes a lot of sense to buy the stock, but not with a slightly, I would say, short to medium term kind of a time frame.
Okay, this one also is for you, Kunal. This one is from Kaustubh, and this one is also from the Autopack, and it's Ashok Leyland. He wants to know what sort of a medium to short-term target do you have for Ashok Leyland?
So I think 165 to 70 could be a short-term target for Ashok Leyland. The reason why I believe that Ashok Leyland would be the next set of the auto stocks which could move up higher, because the stock had always shown potential, but then it's somehow not broken past about 150 mark. Now with the auto stocks and the auto rally getting into the second gear, if I can use that word, many of these other stocks which were potentially very strong are now showing signs of breakout. I believe Ashok Leyland should fit the bill over there. So if you're looking out for target 3 months approximately, 165, 170 would be a range.
Okay, Pramod points out that he's benefited a lot from following advice on this program, and I'm glad that is the case. This is definitely kudos to the experts on the program. He's got a few stocks that he wants to know about. Since he's been so nice to us, I'm going to take 3 stocks here. DM Health, Aster DM Health, Apollo Tyres, as well as GNA Axles. These are 3 counters that he's holding in his portfolio, Ashish. He's asking if we should continue to hold these for the next 18 to 24 months.
Yeah, fundamentally, all 3 counters looks okay to hold for longer run. And again, I am also very bullish in the auto ancillary sector. So a couple of Euro stocks, I think, fall in that segment. So you can continue to remain invested. Also, like if you want to add up along with Apollo Tyres, because slightly slow moving, you can add JK Tyres. I like that as stock also, because the kind of growth they are witnessing from OEMs, JK Tyres also looks good. But otherwise, all your stocks are perfect. Continue to remain invested.
All right. With that, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. But hang in there, experts, and also the viewers. We will be back with your queries after the short break, so don't go anywhere.
Seasoned market observer, and therefore you may hit the nail on the head.
I think you have always kept the focus on the retail investor, and I think it's again a very apt, very good question.
Nikunj, first of all, thank you so much. You are one person I've always enjoyed interacting throughout last 15-20 years.
The problem on coming on your channel is that you already know everything. I just heard your introduction. And what can anybody add to that?
Stock markets is a numbers game, and it sometimes does come across as one-dimensional. But what people don't see is that these numbers, when strung together, tell a story. There's no really black or white. It very much seems to be a work in progress of triumphs and mistakes, greed and fear. And I bring you that story behind the numbers in action.
The personal finance show that helps you achieve all your financial dreams.
This show gets you everything that you need to know about your money, how to earn more, invest smartly, and spend while getting the best bang for your buck.
From the perfect home to early retirement and everything in between.
Real estate, everyone knows, is an asset that Indians absolutely love, maybe even more than gold.
Join us every weekday at 5 p.m. on the ET Money Show. Investment made easy, only on ET Now.
With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
But if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge.
See, Nikunj, you're a very seasoned market observer, and therefore you may hit the nail on the head.
I think you have always kept the focus on the retail investor, and I think it's again a very apt, very good question.
Nikunj, first of all, thank you so much. You are one person I've always enjoyed interacting throughout last 15-20 years.
You know, the problem on coming on your channel is that you already know everything. I just heard your introduction. And what can anybody add to that?
Stock markets is a numbers game, and it sometimes does come across as one-dimensional. But what people don't see is that these numbers, when strung together, tell a story. There's no really black or white. It very much seems to be a work in progress of triumphs and mistakes, greed and fear. And I bring you that story behind the numbers.
I think markets are giving ITC stock a stepmotherly treatment. When you are valuing other companies based on cash flows, valuations, future growth, I think ITC deserves a better positioning. I will not be surprised if ITC becomes an outperformer.
All right, we've got a lot of queries coming in. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I'm going to keep continuing with the query segment. The next question that we're taking is from Sushil Kumar. He's writing in from Trichy. And we discussed this, but I'm still going to come across to you, Kunal, on this one. Wipro bought at levels of 485. He's asking for the outlook for the next 6 months and what should the target be if he looks for an exit in the next 12 months?
See, I think first things first, I believe at current levels of 410, 12 for Wipro, you should look to average. Try and bring your cost price to as much as maybe 435, 440, so you can try and use the quantity in that regards. Have a slightly increased quantity to try and skew the average for Wipro below the 440 odd mark, because my sense is that the IT stocks are getting into a turnaround mode. Wipro has been an underperformer, but somewhere down the line the stock would try and cover up the underperformance. So one big event, which is the results, is out of the way for Wipro. So, and the stock has not seen an incremental damage post results. That could probably play an advantage towards the stock over the near term. So I would suggest an average at current levels and then hold on.
Sticking to Wipro only, Kunal, actually even Vatsal Shah also has a similar query. He's saying that he's purchased Wipro at 404 for the longer term. So he wants to know whether he should average right now or should wait for some more correction.
So I think the stock is at current levels only. I think 410, 12 is where the stock is trading. You've bought at 404. averaging should be done either on the way up when you're looking at the stock gaining momentum, or it should be on a way down, assuming if the stock corrects 10% on an average of 20% on an average from your cost price. So until and unless the stock is at the same price, I don't sense that you should look to average further.
Okay, we've got a question coming in from Niranjan. He's writing in from Karnataka, and he's asking about Bombay Burma Trading Company or Corporation. He's got at levels of 1,300, and so therefore he's lost ground. Ashish, on the fundamentals, what should he do?
At what level he has bought?
He says that he's bought at levels of 1,300. The stock is currently at 948.
Right. I think this was almost at 52-week high on which price investors bought the stock. So, in my view, there's no short-term asset trigger which I can see in BBTC other than Go Air IPO, which was supposed to come, but looking at current scenario in aviation sector, I don't think so. This is going to come in near time. So my suggestion will be you can exit from this stock, and instead of this, I suggest you look at some other stock. I can suggest you a couple of stocks like Grasim you can buy at this price point. Otherwise, you can even look at Hindalco, where I'm very bullish in this particular sector at this price. So, but BBTC you have to exit.
Right. This one is coming from Janvi Agarwal Kunal. 3,400 shares of Federal Bank purchased at 102 rupees, and 320 shares of Piramal Enterprises purchased at 1,638 rupees. She wants to know now which one should she look to exit from a trading perspective.
So I think again, the viewers bought at a very attractive price, both the stocks, because Piramal Enterprise at the 1600 mark and Federal Bank at the 102 mark was just at the cusp of a breakout for both of these stocks individually. Now, there are two ways to look out for, because both these stocks are completely different in terms of charts. Federal Bank has done remarkably well this month. The stock is perched at a fresh 52-week high, if I'm not wrong, about the 107 mark. Piramal Enterprise, on the other hand, is gaining a lot of ground for itself, and I sense that the entire financial services space is on the mode of recovery. So Piramal Enterprise can also do pretty well. So both of them are completely distinguished stocks. Very difficult to make a choice that which one to exit and which one to hold. If possible, I would say that you should look to hold on to both of these names, because if the market gains a lot of momentum, both these stocks from their respective sectors, they can stand to continue to outperform even going forward.
Okay. We've got a question coming in from Sudha. Sudha is a senior citizen. She says that she's bought at Larsen & Toubro at levels of 1880. Is it a good time to average the stock at the current level? Kunal, this one's for you. Would you be able to provide a short-term target as well?
Well, I would definitely recommend to average L&T at current level 1740.50, where the stock is trading. I think a couple of weeks back I had mentioned this on Chartbusters as well when I showed the charts for L&T, that my sense is possibly over the next 3 to 6 months the stock can head towards even levels of 2000, which was the all-time high levels for L&T. So if you have that kind of a time frame, I would definitely look to advise to average as well as hold.
All I can see is a lot of short-term queries actually. Ashish, let me take this one to you, and this one is coming in from Srini from Chennai. Wants a fundamental check on Latent View, wants to know whether it's worth investing with a 3-year horizon.
Okay, Latent View Analytics.
Is a recently listed company. Do you have a coverage on this one?
Yeah, but we don't have very active coverage on this stock per se. But overall, we have seen the trend in IPO listings that after initial listing, euphoria is gone. There's virtually no buyers in these stock. Even coverages are also not available. So this is again a stock from 750 rupees. Now it has become half. So my suggestion will be to exit from this stock, because I don't see any short-term trigger per se in these particular stock, and I suggest you better buy some other quality IT stocks like Sonata Software, which holds a lot of merit at this price point, along with even you can let Intellect Design Arena, but you can exit from Latent View for sure.
Okay. This one's for you as well, Ashish, and we've got Kiran Chopra who says, welcome to a morning of rising positivity. Thank you so much, Kiran, for your lovely message. He's writing in from Lucknow, and he has a long-term portfolio, and he's got a horizon of 3 to 5 years. He says he invests across sectors, and he opts for the top 2 performers in each. He hasn't invested in any of the Adani Group companies yet, but he's asking, if you were to choose one stock from the Adani Group to invest in, which would that be?
Yes, there are so many Adani Group companies are there, but only thing is the valuations of almost all companies are so rich that even none of stocks you will find in aggressive buying list of even domestic institutional investors. So valuations are quite rich, but if you want to take a bet on any one stock, it will be Adani Enterprises, because this is the holding company, and the kind of action which is happening in other Adani Group companies where a lot of fundraise, etc. will happen from companies which Adani Enterprises are holding per se. So Adani Enterprises will keep on doing well. So buy this stock only.
Okay, this one's come from Ujjwal Kumar. This one is for you, Kunal, and this is on ISJEC Heavy Engineering. He has some shares purchased at 790 rupees per share. He's asking whether he can average at current levels or not.
I would suggest an avoid. No sense, I think, putting money into these kind of names, specifically because the charts have been consistently flowing into a downward trend. I would suggest an avoid.
Okay, Surajit wants to know about... Okay, I'm going to take another one. Opinion on Reliance Industries. The question is coming in from Vijay, and sorry, this one's for you, Kunal. I thought it was a long-term query. The outlook, will it go back to 2,400 or will it go above 2,500 before the current expiry?
So I would probably expect Reliance to head towards 2,400 for itself, because the best seems to be out of the way for the stock price. I understand that results is along the way for Reliance Industries, due I think tomorrow if I'm not wrong, but looking at the price, the data on the F&O side, my sense is that the stock could probably try and consolidate into this band and possibly head back towards the 2,400 mark. So not bearish on Reliance Industries, but expecting the stock to consolidate and possibly come back towards the lower end of this consolidation.
Okay, this one is for you, Ashish. Rajiv is writing to us, and he's a long-term investor. He's saying he has card trade about 30 shares, purchased at 1,450. He wants to know whether he should hold or average or switch to better new age tech stocks with a 3 to 4 year view. I know we spoke about latent view just a short while back, but what's your take on this one?
I don't see any future in car trade for car trade shareholders, and from the time of listing only we have seen continuous sale of by institutional players and retail investor buying these stocks. So my suggestion will be to exit from this stock, and any new age stock you like to buy, then I will suggest Nykaa, which is having at least brick and mortar system, and the growth is also quite good there. So Nykaa will be my bet instead of car trade.
Coming back to you on this one, Ashish, Cantabile Retail India Limited is the name of the counter. We've got Surajit, who's bought at levels of 1156. The stock is trading not too far from that mark. It's at 1132. What's the view on the fundamentals?
See, stock is already quite overheated and has given exponential returns in my view. So at this price point, it's better to try to exit from this stock if it further moves up, because valuations are super rich. So my suggestion will be to exit from this stock and look at either Raymond's or Century Textiles, which can give you better returns.
Okay, with that, let's quickly kickstart with the rapid fire. And gentlemen, you know what you have to do. So let me take this one to you. Kunal, Srinivas has GAIL, about 1,500 shares purchased at an average price of 141 rupees per share. Wants to know, will it go up to 170?
Very tough. I would suggest an exit closer to 145.
Kunal, Ravichandra Babu has shorted one Nifty August lot at 16,590. Should he hold it till the end of the month?
I would suggest to cover it up, because my sense is the index is heading towards a big breakout for itself. Possibly 17K should be in line over the next 1 or 2 weeks.
Okay, this one is coming in from Shailaja. Vardhaman Textile makes sense to buy at current market price, Kunal?
Well, yes, it makes sense to buy the stock at current levels. The volume burst over the last 3-4 days indicates fresh market participation. Would suggest a buy.
Sudha wants to know about a good mid-cap IT stock to buy. I think you've already suggested that, Ashish, but can you reiterate? I think you're
number one.
Sorry, please say that again.
Sonata Software is my pick number one.
Okay.
Okay, this one is from Harini. Kunal, Star Health makes sense to buy right now?
Well, not at current levels. I think the stock has done remarkably well in the last 2 weeks. I would suggest to buy on dips. Closer to 625 could be a good starting point.
Aarti wants to know, Kunal, would you sell Apcotex and buy Shriram Transport Finance at this juncture for 1 year?
Well, buying Shriram Transport could be a better bet. Selling Apcotex, I would not recommend.
Okay, Rajesh wants to know, makes sense to actually buying a delivery at current market price? No doubt the term that he's looking out for is 6 months, Ashish.
Sorry, can you...
Delivery is the stock price, is the stock he wants to know whether can buy right now for 6 months.
Yes, you can buy.
Okay, Elecon Engineering, would you have a short-term view, Kunal? Should you buy at the current level? Rajesh Wari wants to know.
I would suggest an avoid. It's run up excessively high in the last 1 to 2 months. Would suggest a buy on dips closer to 275 mark.
Okay, this one Rishikesh wants to know, Gulf Oil Lubricants, 860 is the buy price, hold or sell, Kunal?
I would suggest a hold.
Okay, on that note, we're completely out of time on this edition of the Buy Now, Sell Now query segment. Thank you so much to Ashish as well as Kunal. And I do want to remind our viewers, in case they missed it, Kunal has given a target of 17,000 for the Nifty 50. That kind of slipped under the radar. It put a big smile on my face. I hope it did yours as well. Do stay tuned. We've got more on the other side of this break, and we'll be back before you know it.
In action.
The personal finance show that helps you achieve all your financial dreams.
This show gets you everything that you need to know about your money, how to earn more, invest smartly, and spend while getting the best bang for your buck.
From the perfect home to early retirement and everything in between.
Real estate, everyone knows, is an asset that Indians absolutely love, maybe even more than gold.
Join